Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Falquist. I'm technical specialist from the Center for Instructional Technology here at Ivy Tech. Today we're going to have a wonderful webinar presentation for you. But before we get going, I just want to make sure everybody can hear us now, hear me as we start this webinar. So hopefully you should be able to hear audio now. If you don't, there's some checks that you can do here as far as doing sound checks and making sure as far as that goes. If you have any major issues, you can always call the go-to webinar support. And to participate by asking any questions, just go into the questions tab there. You can arrow down and then you can just type in any questions that you have in that little window that opens up. Okay, so we are here celebrating part of National Distance Learning Week for 2018. We've had a wonderful week so far. This day ends what has been a great week of celebrating National Distance Learning Week. We've had a couple of events. We've had different things that both our faculty and students have been able to do throughout the week, and we just want to add to that by just gaining some knowledge on Cengage Unlimited for faculty. So without further ado, here's Delilah Wilson, who is our customer support, or did I say that right? Customer support manager, success manager. There it is.
That works.
The other S. Okay, so let me make Delilah a presenter. So just give me 1 second here. And there you go.
All right, can you see my screen?
Yes, looks good.
All right, so hi everybody. Again, my name is Delilah Wilson, and today we're going to be talking about Cengage Unlimited. So hopefully by this time you are somewhat familiar with Cengage Unlimited, but many of you may have questions or you're going to be getting questions from your students. So this webinar is geared towards helping you better understand Cengage Unlimited so that you can help your students make more informed decisions when they're purchasing their Cengage materials. So first of all, what is Cengage Unlimited? So Cengage Unlimited is a first of its kind digital subscription to offer students unlimited access to 20,000 Cengage ebooks, 2,300 digital learning products offered by Cengage, dozens of study tools such as Quizlet. We have different practice tests, different simulation programs, so various study tools for students across 70 different disciplines and 675 courses. And all of this is offered to your students at one price. So chances are, if you're using the Cengage material, it would be covered under the Cengage Unlimited subscription. So I just read you a pretty lengthy description about what Cengage Unlimited, but what does that mean for students? That basically means instead of students paying for their materials on a course-by-course basis, if they're taking, let's say, 5 courses, and 2 of those courses use Cengage, instead of them paying for those materials individually, students can just purchase one Cengage Unlimited subscription, and that's going to cover all of their Cengage materials. So great potential for cost savings because, again, instead of paying a la carte for each individual course, they can pay one subscription. Now, how much does it cost? We have several subscription offers for students, and students, they can decide which subscription they want to purchase. And it just depends on maybe how much money they have at the time, if they're thinking long term. But we have a 1 semester or 1 term subscription for 4 months for $119.99. We have a multi-term, which is a 12-month, which would cover all of their Cengage classes for the year for $179.99. And we also have a 2-year subscription for $239. So let's think about it. If students were taking, let's say on average, 2 Cengage classes a semester, and let's say they did fall, summer, and spring term, that's 6 classes a year, 12 classes over the course of 2 years. And for that 2-year subscription, students could pay $239 and have all of their Cengage materials covered for the duration of that 2 years. So with access to Cengage Unlimited, students are going to get their courseware. So many of you may be familiar with like MindTap or SAM or WebAssign, different online homework management systems like that. That's covered under Cengage Unlimited. That's considered courseware. So they're going to get access to their homework, that courseware, ebooks, study tools. And this is digital access, but you may have some students that want a printed version of the textbook. Well, if that's the case, we do offer an affordable loose leaf version that students can purchase anytime they activate their Cengage Unlimited subscription. And we also give the students the ability, if they're enrolled into a course like a MindTap or a SAM, where they can rent a printed textbook for only $7.99, and the shipping is going to be free. So if the students want to extend their rental, they can definitely do that with the Cengage Unlimited subscription. So it's all about saving the students money. And as I mentioned, what's included is going to be the ebooks, the courseware, like the MindTap, the SAM, different study tools. That's all going to be included in the Cengage Unlimited program. So as the instructor, you may be wondering, well, how can I use Cengage Unlimited? I want my students to get access to this Cengage Unlimited. How can I use it? Well, as I mentioned, Cengage Unlimited, it's not a product. Cengage Unlimited, it's a purchase option. It's a subscription. So to try to help put things in perspective, we can look at Cengage Unlimited like a Netflix. So when it comes to Netflix, a user or an individual would purchase a monthly subscription to Netflix. And with that subscription, throughout the month, the students, they can watch different movies, they can watch different Netflix originals. All of that's going to be covered in their monthly subscription. So when students subscribe to Netflix, they have access to all of those different materials. Now, when it comes to Cengage Unlimited, when instructors ask me, oh, well, how can I use Cengage Unlimited? Again, it's just a purchasing option for your students. So you may be using MindTap. And if that's the case, if your students purchase access to Cengage Unlimited, then your MindTap materials would be covered. If you're using WebAssign, then that's covered in Cengage Unlimited. If you're using a Cengage product called SAM, or maybe you're not using an online homework management system, maybe you're just using a Cengage textbook. Well, even if you're just using a textbook, if students wanted to purchase, if students purchase that Cengage Unlimited subscription, they would have access to the ebooks for your class. So simply by you, as the instructor, by you adopting a Cengage textbook or Cengage online materials such as MindTap or WebAssign, students, when they go to register for your materials, they are going to be presented with options of, do you just want to purchase access for this individual class, or do you want to subscribe to Cengage Unlimited, where all of your Cengage materials will be covered? Doesn't matter if you're taking one instructor's class that uses Cengage, or 5 or 10 or unlimited instructors. All of that's going to be covered with a Cengage Unlimited subscription. Now, what you can do, especially since this is distance learning week, for those of you who are using Ivy Learn and you are using a Cengage courseware, you will notice if you're using a MindTap that when you go to the Cengage tool, you can select the Cengage Unlimited Student Dashboard to make sure your students have access if they want to explore the dashboard. And we're going to take a look at this Cengage Unlimited Student Dashboard towards the end of this call, but as the instructor, you can make sure your students have access So not only your individual course materials, like your Mind Tap for Psychology, but you can also add a link in your course where students can explore Cengage Unlimited. Even if you don't add that link, students, if they purchase access to Cengage Unlimited, your materials would be covered. But it's just great for you to add this link so students they can explore and load other textbooks, because that's the great thing about Cengage Unlimited. You may be using a particular text, but if students, they wanted to explore text that complement the text that you're using, or different study tools, they can do that in Cengage Unlimited. All right, so how much will students save if they purchase access to Cengage Unlimited? Well, it depends on how many courses that they're taking. It depends on the cost of those materials for those individual courses. So students, they have to just do their due diligence and shop around. Chances are, if they're taking more than one course that uses Cengage, they're better off purchasing access to Cengage Unlimited. But I do want to point out this Cengage Unlimited student calculator that can be found at cengage.com/unlimited/student-calculator. So I'm going to go ahead and go there. And this is a URL that you can provide to your students. So when students go to that savings calculator, you can see it asks them to enter their ISBN information. So most of you are putting the ISBN information for your students in your course syllabus. If you're loading your syllabus within Ivy Learn, students, they typically, under your required text and materials, this is where they would find the access code for their Cengage materials. So let's say if I take this ISBN, and I'm going to go ahead and just plug that ISBN into this savings calculator. So when I click on that ISBN, it tells me that ISBN that I put in, the cost for those materials is $132. And this is going to give me a loose leaf textbook with bundled with my Mind Tap access code. So I can either purchase that individual course for $132, or I can purchase access to Cengage Unlimited, which, even though I'm only taking just one course, the student would still save $12.96. And remember, even you'll notice that the Cengage Unlimited is digital, but if they wanted to purchase or rent a printed textbook for the semester, then they would just pay an extra $8. But again, it's still a savings in this particular case for this student to go with Cengage Unlimited. Now, let's say this same student is also taking another course that uses a Cengage material. So I'm going to go into this vote course, and this is the ISBN that this particular course is using from Cengage. And I'm going to take that ISBN and plug it into the same savings calculator to see if I'm taking more than one course with a different ISBN, how much does that cost? Okay, well, this second class would have cost me $118. So you can see the total. If the student is purchasing their materials on a course by course basis, they would have paid $250 versus the $119 for Cengage Unlimited, which ultimately would save them $130 for this semester. So you get the drift. Students, they can shop around and put in those ISBNs. Now, this website that we're on, this is just a general Cengage website. There may be special pricing available for Ivy Tech students. If they wanted to see specifically what prices they're getting, the best place to do that would be at the campus bookstore. So, I got my slides mixed up, so let me just drag that up. So here's just a screenshot that I grabbed from the campus bookstore. So you know, when students go to the Ivy Tech Follett bookstore, they can search for their course materials by CRN number, or they can just browse by, this is the campus that I'm at, this is my course number, my course name, and then it's going to show them how much their Cengage materials are. So I grabbed this, sorry guys, I grabbed this screenshot to give you an idea of what your students are seeing when they go to the campus bookstore. Now, this screenshot is from a fall course, but great news, starting for the spring of 19, if a class is using the Cengage learning materials, then not only will the just regular loose leaf or the regular purchase option be listed, but the students are also going to see the option to either purchase that 1 semester subscription for $119 to Cengage Unlimited, or the 12-month or the 24-month. So students are going to see all of their different purchasing options. That may mean they may have questions, or to you as the instructor on, well, which one should I purchase? And that's why it's great for you to know about Cengage Unlimited. But the bookstore will also be educating the students on what Cengage Unlimited is. We're trying to work with the bookstore to see if they can put stickers on anything that's labeled Cengage Unlimited. We're going to be having messaging around Cengage Unlimited at the bookstore to make sure students are pretty clear on what Cengage Unlimited is. All right, next, you know, I'm going to pause. I don't think we have questions, so I'm just going to continue. I don't see any questions. All right, so the next slide I want to talk about is how can students purchase. So we talked about them going to the bookstore and purchasing a Cengage Unlimited printed access card, but you will also notice students, when they're registering for your, let's say, a MindTap course, they're going to see the option to purchase access online. So here's a screenshot, and I'm going to kind of make it bigger. And I know I'm not in presentation mode, but that's because I just want to jump back and forth to my internet and to this slide. All right, so when a student is registering, let's say for your MindTap course, maybe you're using MindTap and you have it integrated. Take a look at this course, for example. So maybe you're using MindTap and you have it integrated into Ivy Learn. So when students click on any of your MindTap links the first time, they're going to be registering for your MindTap section to take your different MindTap assignments or to access the ebook, because you've loaded that into Ivy Learn for your students. The first time they do that, they're going to be prompted to create a Cengage account, but they're also going to get to a payment screen. So on this payment screen, if students purchase an access code from the bookstore, they purchase, it doesn't matter if they purchase just a regular access code to that individual MindTap, or if they purchase an access code to Cengage Unlimited, they're going to register that access code and they're going to be covered for that particular course. And obviously, if they register an access code for Cengage Unlimited, that's going to cover them for all of their Cengage materials, not just your class. But let's say a student, they haven't purchased anything from the bookstore yet, and they're not sure what they want to purchase. They'll also see these different options where they can compare. And do I want to buy Cengage Unlimited for $119? Or it's going to say, just for this course, I can purchase a loose leaf book. I can purchase a multi-term access code to MindTap just for this individual course. So all of these purchase options, these 4 to the right, these are just going to be purchase options if they just want this individual course. It's MindTap, MindTap with loose leaf, MindTap multi-term with loose leaf. So they see all of these options, or they may decide, I want to buy Cengage Unlimited. So your students are going to be seeing messaging about it at the bookstore. When they're purchasing access, they're going to be seeing messaging about Cengage Unlimited. And they still have access to the trial periods that we've been offering. So if they're not sure what they want to buy, they don't have money at the time, we still offer those grace periods. So this slide is kind of redundant as far as this image, but the question is, how do my students register if they purchase Cengage Unlimited? again, nothing is changing for those of you who are using Cengage materials as far as the registration process. If you're using MindTap and you have that integrated within Ivy Learn, then that's how your students register for your particular MindTap class. And if they purchase a subscription to Cengage Unlimited, they're just going to register that Cengage Unlimited subscription access code. If you're not integrated within Ivy Learn and you just have your students registering directly on the Cengage website, then you just have to, as the instructor, you have to be clear to your students where they should be going to access your course materials. Where did you set up MindTap? Where did you set up STEM? Do you want them to go directly to Ivy Learn, or should they be logging into a Cengage website? Do they need some type of course key? The registration process hasn't changed. Well, what if you're teaching an include ed distance education course where your students, they are already built up front for their material? So let's say you're teaching, and I'm just throwing out arbitrary numbers. So let's say you're teaching the English 111 and the distance education version of the course, and students will build $60 for their Cengage materials. Well, the bookstore now has a process in place where if a student purchases access to Cengage Unlimited, and again, they can purchase it through the bookstore, as long as they have their receipt for that purchase, they can take that to the bookstore, and the bookstore will refund the students for the cost of those include ed materials. So, because remember, with Cengage Unlimited, students, it pays for any Cengage materials that they're using. So they may decide, I'm taking 3 courses with Cengage. I just want to buy the one subscription for $119 for this semester, and now I'm going to go get a refund for that $60 that I was charged in that include ed course. And that's all done through the bookstore. What if students want a printed version of the textbook? You'll notice on the Cengage Unlimited dashboard. So this is a Cengage Unlimited dashboard. My dashboard is quite cluttered because I, use it for training purposes. But you can see on this dashboard, students, they can see, oh, here's the MindTap course that I registered for. They can see all of the different courses that they registered for. But let me really quickly show you for print options. If students click on this print options area, as long as they're enrolled into courseware such as a MindTap or SAM or WebAssign, because you can see that I can rent for $7.99. The students, they do have the option to rent under the print options area if they want a print textbook. Now, if you as the instructor want to explore the Cengage Unlimited dashboard just to kind of see, well, how do my students load other products, or you can do so at Cengage.com, kind of a long URL. It's Cengage.com/learn/instructor-try-unlimited. So I'm going to take these last couple of minutes to explore Cengage Unlimited with you. And like I said, I have quite a few textbooks already loaded to my Cengage Unlimited dashboard. So first of all, let's say I'm a student, I purchased a Cengage Unlimited subscription. I initially would have registered my Cengage access code, my Cengage Unlimited access code that I purchased. And where I registered that code depends on instructions that I received from my instructor. My instructor would have told me, hey, you need to register for MindTap via Ivy Learn. Or maybe my instructor says, I'm not using the MindTap, I just want you to load the ebook for this class, and you can do that directly on Cengage.com. So if students go to, let me open up a different tab really quick. If students go to Cengage.com to log in, I'm already logged in, so just bear with me. So students, And if they purchase a printed access code from the bookstore, it tells them the URL if they're going directly to register that code on the Cengage website. But when they go to this to log in, you can see there's this an account where a student could create an account. Once the student creates an account, once they create an account, they'll be on this Cengage Unlimited dashboard. And if they have a Cengage Unlimited access code, they can register that access code so that they are now in their Cengage Unlimited subscription. Once they're in that subscription, they can search for different ebooks. So if I wanted to add let's say, and I'm just going to, let's say they know which ISBN they want to add, or they can search by author. When they do that, you can see how they see the different options. So I just use the term psychology, which is obviously generic. It may have helped if the students were using this particular psychology book, if they use the author's name and they type in behavioral finance. And right here, if I want to add this ebook to my dashboard, I just click Add to Home. And as long as I've purchased access to Cengage Unlimited, then I will be allowed into that ebook. Well, what about if the student is using a psychology book that comes with a mind tap? So they're using a psychology book that comes with a mind tap, then they can add that to their home. But this is where it's important, like I said, for the instructor to provide instructions on how you want your students to register for your particular courseware section. Because even if a student adds a mind tap versus just an individual ebook to their home page, you'll see it in 1 second as soon as this loads that maybe that book is at the end. So here's that mind tap that I just added. But if a student tries to click on that, they need a course key from you as the instructor, or if you have your students registering through your learning management system, Ivy Learn, it's going to tell them that they need to go to their learning management system, such as Canvas, to enroll into that MindTap course. So that's why it's extremely important for you as the instructor, if you're using more than an ebook, if you're using a MindTap or courseware, that you provide your students with the registration instructions just like you provided in the past. Go to Ivy Learn, register, or here's your course key and register. And any Cengage materials will be covered under that subscription. So I've managed to make it through all of my slides. If you, again, as the instructor, if you want to explore this Cengage Unlimited dashboard because you want to know how students can search for materials and load ebooks to their class, if you want to know the different study resources that are available to the students, you can explore the Cengage Unlimited dashboard on your own by using this instructors try unlimited URL. So Ryan, that concludes what I have to cover. I don't think we had any questions, but at this point in time, if there are questions, I am definitely available to answer them.
Yeah, wonderful, Delilah. Yeah, so we have 2 attendees here live. Is there any questions that anybody has after hearing all about Cengage and what they have as far as with Unlimited and, exciting things happening there? If there are any questions, just go ahead and type them out. I think there's Loretta and Caroline are in the room right now. So I'll give you another minute here to ask any questions. Okay, I don't think there's any questions right now. So we'll go ahead and end this presentation. I want to go ahead and say a special thank you again to Delilah Wilson. So she's customer success manager from Cengage. We've done work with her for years. I know I've dealt with Delilah just as a faculty member, and she's always been great to work with. So we appreciate you, Delilah, and thank you for joining us during National Distance Learning Week. We definitely appreciate it, and I know Caroline and Loretta appreciate you as well. They're saying thank you. Great information there. So we'll go ahead and end this webinar for today. And again, don't forget, it is still National Learning Week throughout the day. We do have a couple more events going on. So just check out our page. If you have any questions, you can check out the events. And we have any recordings such as these will be on our YouTube, the Ivy Tech YouTube channel, which is Ivy Tech Online. So definitely check that when you have time. So again, thank you, Delilah, for joining us today. And thank you for everyone that joined us here live and maybe watching this recording. And everybody have a great day. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. You guys have a good day. Bye.